Welcome to PrepperNow.
Please, Lord, help me get one more.
All right, folks, welcome back to PrepperNow. Do a car chat. Sorry I didn't get on it last night, but it was one of those weekends where it was so busy. I actually didn't sleep that well, and I was feeling it in the crisis report, so thought I'd close up shop, go to bed, and do one of these in the morning as we have better ideas of developments and everything else. So just give you a quick rundown, and that's what I'm going to start to do, because I wake up and I basically have a couple channels I go to that just give me the quick update of really where everything is. You know, as we all know, they've been saying for a long time, this is going to happen today, this is going to happen today, nobody knows. I mean, something's coming pretty imminently in the ultimate scheme of things, but nobody knows exactly when and where. You know, like I said last night on the crisis report, the Israelis like to do head fakes. So because of that, you're not going to really know exactly when, and such is life, especially with like prepping and everything else. You keep prepping, you keep chopping your feet, you keep doing what you're supposed to do, and you'll get there. Have goals. The outside world is going to be the outside world. All you can do is take care of your little plot of land and do your best, okay? That's it. So what I really want to talk about today is, well, I guess I'll give an update. Basically, at this point, nobody knows, and this is the 7th of October, 2024, so you're on the one-year anniversary. Things are incredibly tense. There was a 4.6 or so earthquake in Iran a couple days ago, and that supposedly was a nuclear test. And for their little thing on the anniversary, Iran is supposedly going to come out and change their nuclear doctrine. And this other guy that was a weapons merchant named Victor Bout, who was in exchange for Griner, the NBA girl that was busted over in Russia, air quotes girl. He is now supplying the Houthis with a bunch of weapons as well. So I mean, everything's trending more towards a regional thing. As it stands of right now, there's no big to do, but everybody's very tense. This is the anniversary, and here we go. All right, so that's it. What I really want to talk about is how they're not really able to hide it anymore as it pertains to everybody's, disdain and loathing of the current administration's handling of everything, and how it's all kind of getting out of hand for them. But I watched the poly market because it kind of gives you an idea. And it's been pretty much tied. Trump took a slight lead over the weekend, which is a bit of a shift. Was 51 to 48. Now it's like 50 to 49 Trump. So shift there. Doesn't mean much. And actually, I think it's all kind of BS, because when you're on the street and you're talking to people and what they're really feeling, I mean, even the most staunch of supporters kind of carry this hidden embarrassment, I guess is the way to put it, of where things are with their side of the political realm. So if you look at the response of everything that's going on with Helene, whatever, there's a lot of things that are not really making people happy, I guess. Some of the things that are going on are there's bodies piling up. There's places where, people are having a real tough time to get to. The look of FEMA is not great. Glenn Beck did an expose. It took them a full week to get there. They get there. They're not doing much. They are in, I think Asheville, but they're not stationed on any kind of a visible area. They're like off the main streets. They're not even set up where people could really find them. Over the weekend, you had Alejandro Mayorkas seen at this like high-end boutique shopping experience for clothes, like a clothier in D.C., big smile on his face, walking out with a bunch of bags in his hand. Joe was on the beach when Helene hit. Kamala has not really been there. The $750 that has been pledged is kind of weak when you look at all that is given to our new neighbors and the reloadable cards that they get and all the services and help and NGOs coming their assistance and everything else. If you're sitting down there in Western North Carolina, I'm very familiar with Western North Carolina. It is a place that I have driven through. It is a place that I have vacationed. It is a place that I know pretty darn well. I've been to Asheville numerous times, stayed there, gone downtown, visited all the little, it's a bohemian little town. Great barbecue there. We went one time. All kinds of breweries, all kinds of stuff to do. And clearly not in a great position because it's basically down there in the the valley. So all that water came rushing in. So it kind of makes sense why it was so harmed with all this. But the response that's going on is just not good. I mean, there's no other way to put it. In fact, it's downright irresponsible. And if you remember, Katrina was a very terrible response. And I'm talking to my wife about this, and she does a really good job of playing devil's advocate. She does it on purpose. So we're doing our walk and we're talking and everything. She's like, well, it's tough to get there, and all this is going to do is make it so people want more government in their life, which she's correct on. But it doesn't matter. The optics are awful. The whole thing is really terrible for the regime. And you got, 29 days, something like that, until the big to-do. So my worry is this. Okay, let me get to the doom. I know I got to get to the doom. My worry is that things are spiraling out of control. Things are not looking good for them. And they're going to start to do things that none of us can imagine. Now, I'm not going to put a finger on it. I'm not going to give you scenarios. You can use your imagination. But I think if you think they're going to go quietly into that dark night or whatever and go back to the woodshed and do what we used to do in this country, which was figure out, how to politically win. Let me give you some examples and some things that have been missed. First and foremost, did you know over the weekend that, or last week, a judge came out and said that the student loan thing can go through. This judge in Georgia said, oh, well, Georgia's Georgia, and this is through Mohila. Mohila is Missouri, and it's like the Missouri Higher Education Loan Association or something like that. They can go ahead and, let them. You guys can pay back their loans. So the student loan thing, until it gets challenged again, is back on the table, right? There's a little gift to your 20, 30 somethings, or your 30, 40 somethings, right? All kinds of other little things that have come out that are pro regime to kind of sweeten the deal and make them more enticing to voting blocks. I just thought the timing was interesting in that. You got 30-some days left, and all of a sudden, he's like, hey, we'll just let them pay back your loans. Oh, thank you so much. Coming from a guy who worked his ASS off and paid his loans 15 years early by working extra side gigs and doing everything else. And trust me, my loans were much more expensive than the average person. I paid them off early because I don't want to be in debt. Doesn't matter to me. Hey, screw him. He doesn't matter. And that's kind of the way everybody feels now. It's like a screw him or screw her or whatever. Oh, you pay taxes. We don't care. We need a better voting base coming in. We need a better, base of people coming in so we can keep this whole sham rolling down the road, which is basically, when you take the, open up the hood, is a bunch of people that have been permanently installed in Washington into non-elected positions that are doing everything they can to keep their job and to keep this, largely illiberal version of governance that is not really truly a democracy. So my fear is that they're going to start to do whatever they can to keep on to that power. Everything is not working. They're trying to give the gifts. That's not really working. When you look at stuff, the tide is turning because people aren't stupid. Look at the gas. That's another one. I mean, we are on the threat of a major Middle Eastern war. And the gas just keeps going down magic. Why is it? Because they're going into the freaking strategic reserve. Think about that. Going into a major conflict, and they've tapped into our strategic petroleum reserve for years. Keep it down. Just so they can surprise us with major energy things. The port strike, that just magically went away after about 48 hours. They're doing everything they can, folks. And even that really isn't working anymore. So what are they going to do? What is going to happen, first and foremost, in the next 20-some days? And the other thing is, what happens if it is too big to you-know-what, and the man gets in? What are they going to do from November to January? I can assure you, what they do is going to blow you away. Now, I've suggested lawfare, but I'll tell you right now, whatever it's going to be, we're not going to see it coming, and it's going to be really bad. You had Clinton coming out over the weekend saying that we need to censor everybody now because we're losing control, and that's exactly correct. They are losing control. So, all right, folks, I'm going to try and bust it out and get back on the live stream train on this channel tonight. Please hit the notification bell, darken it out if you're new here, get the comment in and a like and all that, and we'll see you on the next one. Links in the description. There's Twitter, there's X, Gab, Minds, Truth, all on there. Subscribestar and Locals were neglected last week with the exception of a few a day. That's the place where you get the juicy information you can't put on the regular socials. Then, of course, you can be a member here for a couple bucks a month. It keeps the train rolling on the crisis report here, and then the multiple other places where I go and do stuff. All in my meantime, as a very busy man who's playing music, 2 gigs this weekend. That's why I was so tired. And then also just signed on to be an elite coach for my daughter. So now I'm actually making money from that. That's kind of cool. But it takes my time. It's tough to get here sometimes. But you being here is why I'm here, because I love y'all. All right? Thanks so much for your support. We'll see you on the next one.